Ruidoso will be closed off for the next 2 weeks for emergency repairs of the water sewage system that were damaged by severe flooding in that area. How many people will be affected and where they can find help. Then President Trump is instructing the Commerce Department to start working on a new census, which is a count of the number of residents who live in the country as well as where they live. The president says on social media he does not want people to be counted who are here illegally. And we are talking about extreme heat, but it sounds like we might soon see an end to it. Robert, is that true?
Monica, 2 more days of triple-digit heat before those thunderstorms return, and they return very strong on Sunday. I'm going to have your detailed forecast. We're live on KTSM Plus, and your news starts right now.
You're watching KTSM 9 News First at 4. Starts right now.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to KTSM 9 News First at 4. This is our new digital newscast. I'm Monica Cortez. We, of course, begin with New Mexico. So the Upper Canyon and Ruidoso will be closed off for the next 2 weeks for emergency repairs of the water sewage system that were damaged by severe flooding in that area. Some 300 people will be affected by this closure as repairs are completed. And as of today, people living in the Upper Canyon will not be able to go back home if they decide to evacuate. Residents are being assisted with covering the costs of hotel rooms if they do decide to leave. However, the city's mayor says about 200 of those residents have decided to shelter in place during the repairs. And as we've told you, the severe flooding took a major toll on the water and sewer systems in the area, as well as homes and other property.
We've got you a hotel room. We've got you set up with FEMA to get some of your expenses covered while we take these repairs. And in the meantime, we're going to have people watching the entry and exit to the Upper Canyon area. And police patrols, all that, just in case there might be somebody trying to loot or whatever, you know, that people are worried about.
Crews will continue to remove roads, repairing and replacing water and sewer lines. Mayor Lynn Crawford says that if all goes well, repairs will be done within the next 2 weeks. And we are still following that deadly police confrontation on I-10 overpass that happened last month. And now an autopsy report obtained by KTSM is ruling that man's death a homicide. Now, we do want to warn you that the video you're about to see could be considered disturbing to some of our viewers. So the medical examiner's office is listing the death of Javier Guadalupe Hernandez as asphyxia caused by chest compressions after law enforcement restraint. According to police, a 30-year-old had confronted police on an I-10 overpass, saying that he attempted to jump over the barrier onto the freeway. That's when an officer subdued Hernandez. Now, the autopsy report did reveal Hernandez also had cocaine in his system. So the big question now is, what happens next? Take a listen.
I want to emphasize that this remains an open and honest investigation. At this time, no findings or determinations have been made regarding potential criminal liability. Three separate investigations are currently underway: a criminal investigation by the El Paso Police Department's Crimes Against Persons Unit, an independent separate investigation by the Texas Rangers, and an administrative investigation by the El Paso Police Department Internal Affairs Division.
Now, it's also important to note that Hernandez's family did have an attorney, but as of yesterday morning, the attorney tells us that he is no longer on the case, and the family had to retain other legal counsel. Well, to another story we've been following closely on air and online. A Fort Bliss soldier has been arrested for allegedly trying to send sensitive information to Russia. The Department of Justice says 22-year-old Taylor Adam Lee faces charges of attempted transmission of national defense information to a foreign adversary and attempted to export controlled technical data without a license. According to court documents, Lee is an active duty service member at Fort Bliss and holds security clearance for top secret information. Documents say since May, Lee sought to establish his U.S. Army credentials and send technical information to Russia's Ministry of Defense about M1A2 Abrams tanks. Now, Lee was arrested Wednesday morning and made his initial appearance in federal court that same day. To read more on this story and all of today's top headlines, just head on over to KTSM.com. All right, let's take a little pause here and talk about weather, because that's the other big headline of today. Now, the city does look very beautiful, but if we can move that camera up, I'd love to see the sky and kind of tell you if it's cloudy or clear or rainy. I don't know. But you know what? Who does know? Robert. Robert, are we seeing any kind of clouds in the sky?
Monica, that's the world's biggest traffic cam.
Right? Yeah, it looks amazing.
Hey, why don't we fire up everybody's favorite product?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Misery meter, 31 days. 31 days so far this year of triple-digit heat. Now, of course, I'm waiting on this middle column to see if we've made it to 105 or hotter. So far, 12 of those days have been at 105 or hotter. Here are the high temperatures so far today. 105 Juarez, 103 El Paso, 102 Alamogordo, 103 Deming, and 88 Ruidoso right now. Here are the temperatures in your area. Expect the high to level off somewhere around 105 to 106 this afternoon. We come down just a little bit tomorrow to 104 degrees, and the triple digits stay with us on Saturday as well. But something changes on Saturday. Late in the day, that zone of high pressure that's brought us all this triple-digit heat breaks down, and then here come those thunder showers. Here's a quick look for your Friday. High temperature about 104 tomorrow, so still hot for Fifi at 5 o'clock for your dog walking forecast. I'm going to have your detailed long-range forecast coming up in just a little bit. Monica.
Robert, thank you so much. Yes, do not take Fifi on a walk today. So this is what it looks like. I-10 US 54, and you can see that, well, traffic is clear. So despite whatever is going on that shoulder, it doesn't look like anything serious. But despite that, everything is moving real nicely. I-10 Zaragoza, I'm not sure exactly what our TechStar camera is looking for, but from this angle, traffic seems to be looking pretty clear. Well, in national news, 6 soldiers were honored for their actions during yesterday's mass shooting at Fort Stewart. Now, base officials say the soldiers acted quickly as soon as shots were fired, with some subduing the shooter and others providing critical first aid to the injured. Fort Stewart commanding general says that their fast actions did save lives. Army Secretary Dan Driscoll says that the federal government will be available to help support those impacted by the shooting, and base officials also held a news conference this morning to update details surrounding this incident.
The fast action of these soldiers under stress and under trauma and under fire absolutely saved lives from being lost. On behalf of President Trump, Vice President Vance, Secretary Hegseth, they wanted me to tell these soldiers, their family, and this community that the entire federal government stands by and stands ready to care for these soldiers and their family.
Now, the suspected shooter, Cornelius Radford, is an automated logistics sergeant from Jacksonville, Florida. Investigators are still trying to determine the motive for the shooting. Well, in national news, a request from the president to the Commerce Department. In today's Political Minute, Washington correspondent Rashad Hudson has all the details.
A presidential order for a new census. I'm Rashad Hudson, Washington correspondent. President Trump instructing the Commerce Department Thursday to start working on a new census, which is a count of the number of residents who live in the country as well as where they live. It's required by the Constitution to take place every 10 years. The Census Bureau is a widely used source of statistical information about the U.S. population. The data from the census is used to determine the number of seats each state gets in the U.S. House of Representatives, the number of electoral college votes each state gets in presidential elections, and where some of the federal funding gets directed. President Trump saying on social media he does not want people to be counted who are here illegally. It also comes as states consider redrawing congressional maps led by Texas with President Trump's support. A new census could shake up congressional lines. I'm Rashad Hudson. This is your News Nation Political Minute.
Well, a donation from El Paso's Hope Border Institute has helped feed over 100 migrant families in Juarez. Coming up, we're going to go over your thoughts on this initiative as part of our In the Comments segment. Thank you so much for tuning in to KTSM Plus, always putting local first. Hey everyone, welcome back. Well, a donation from El Paso's Hope Border Institute has helped feed 110 migrant families in Juarez. The nonprofit partnered with the Mexican group for human rights to deliver social services information and then take the families grocery shopping this week. This all comes after many asylum seekers became stranded in Mexican border cities when the U.S. government curtailed options for them to apply for protection. In El Paso, the organizations have given grants to local groups that provide legal services for migrants whose cases still remain in U.S. Immigration Court. So, of course, we did share the story over onto our social media pages, and a lot of you had quite a bit of thoughts to share with us. So, we're going to start off with Christian Aquino, who writes, "We have American families that need this service." End quote. Megan Harris wrote, "If you can also include the homeless we have sitting every day in the sun and heat off of McGoffin and Noble, please probably another 50 to 100 plates should do. Thanks." And Gabriel Mejia writes, "Well done. And to those complaining, no one is stopping y'all from helping the homeless here in El Paso." Here at KTSM, of course, we do value all of your opinions, and we definitely want to continue to hear from you. So make sure you're always following us on our social media platforms to keep in touch with us through the comments. And if you'd like to learn more about this particular story, you can actually visit borderreport.com. That's where Border Report live host Rudy Mireles and our very own Julian Resendiz spoke about the work the Hope Border Institute has done on both sides of the border. Again, that's all on borderreport.com. Well, a place where you can play baseball no matter the weather. Up next, we visit Battle batting cages to learn more about the concept and why you should visit this. This is KTSM Plus.
Your local weather authority, Robert Bettis, the Borderland's only certified broadcast meteorologist.
Welcome back, everyone. So we're on live on KTSM Plus, YouTube, Facebook Live, and as a matter of fact, we're already getting questions on Facebook Live, asking Robert about rain chances, about
Monica's
heat relief.
lawn. fertilization.
Right.
It is kind of fun. I have to admit, I enjoy the hour because
too. It goes
you
by
can't
fast.
see it, but right next to us is the camera, and we're live on Facebook. And as the comments come in, Monica reads them, and we can interact with you. So if you haven't tried it, come on.
So by the way, big shout out to Beller High School and Eastwood High School. Those are the schools we're talking about right now on Facebook
Yes.
Live. I don't
Yeah,
know
we
why.
talk about everything on Facebook Live. Now we're just going to talk about the heat and
Yes.
say goodbye to that heat.
Thank you.
At least for a few days.
Okay, when?
All right. Starting on Sunday, we go down to
Too far away.
99. We can make it. We can make it. Here are the high temperatures so far today. These are not official yet. 105 in Juarez, 103 at the airport, 101 for you, Las Cruces, 98 Silver City, 88 up in Ruidoso, and 102 in Alamogordo. High temperatures across the region today. Phoenix looks like it's in another record range. It's 116 so far, and they're probably not done yet. 98 up in Albuquerque, 100 Del Rio, 105 Laredo, 98 San Antonio, 99 in Austin so far today. 102 at the airport right now. I've got winds coming in about 10 miles per hour. Dew point 33. Now the dew points have stayed on the dry side in the 20s and in the 30s, and it's going to stay that way until Saturday evening. That's where we're going to feel a recharge on that monsoonal humidity, the fuel we need for our monsoon thunderstorms. Right now, exactly the same structure. We've been staring at the same pattern for days because that high pressure bubble settled in, lining up between Albuquerque and El Paso, and it's just sitting there keeping all the storms away, keeping the moisture away. We remain under a heat advisory along the border all the way through Saturday evening. Here's your exclusive 9-hour forecast for tomorrow. High temperature 104, lots of sunshine, heat advisory along the border, southeast winds about 5 to 15 miles per hour. Allergy forecast 9s for the next 3 days. That's in the high range. Lows tonight going down to 72 Alamogordo, 73 TRC, 65 Silver City, and 77 for Juarez. High temperatures tomorrow coming down ever so slightly, still hot. 101 Alamogordo, 103 for Deming, 105 Juarez, and 102 for Van Horn. Tonight for you, Las Cruces, clear skies, low 69 degrees with very light winds tonight. Beautiful night, another in a row once the sun sets. 101 your high for tomorrow. Tonight for us at the International Airport, 76 degrees with clear skies and light winds tomorrow. Might see a few more clouds in the afternoon than we did today. High temperature 104 degrees. Now only KTSM gives you 9 full days of weather. On Saturday, I'm upgrading it from slight chance to isolated area thunderstorms. But if you want the stronger thunder showers that are likely to deliver the brief heavy rainfall, that's going to come in on Sunday, especially in the afternoon and evening with a high of 99. 96 on Monday with thunder showers, late day storms Tuesday, 97. And then unfortunately we dry out again, 100 Thursday, 99 on Friday. Monica.
Robert, thank you so much. Well, guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. All right, so do you love to play baseball or softball, but you just can't stand the heat as you play outside? Don't worry, we have the perfect solution for you because it's called Battle Batting Cages, and that's where you can swing your bat, rain or shine. We actually got to speak with the owner to learn more about the concept and the story behind this business. Check it out. All right, Chris, so can you tell us a little bit about how this place came to be?
So Battle Batting Cages came with a concept. At one point, I've been coaching on the west side, going on about 9 years. Of course, the city of El Paso does have fields and ballparks. Now, unfortunately, with El Paso, we know that at times that the weather comes into play with the heat index that comes in during summertime. We have monsoon season, which we're in right now, and then we get the dirt storms. So a lot of those fields are not available due to weather. So we decided let's open up another facility to give parents and kids an alternative to come in and practice.
And how do you think you being a coach is going to play into this new business that you're opening?
So as I open the business, I'm not just an owner who's just going to come and monitor and watch how the facility's running. I actually do trainings. So I get involved with the kids, I bring them in. A lot of kids come in and train with me.
Do you want to put your coaching skills to the test? I don't know anything about baseball.
Yes.
Would you be able to train me?
Yes, we start with basic fundamentals. It comes down to T. So if we're going to do some batting work, that's what the kids love to come and do. So let's go ahead and do this. Go ahead and come up. So we're going to go to 6A.
6A?
And then I want you to put your other foot, your right foot at 2A.
Okay.
Okay?
I don't want to hit you, Chris.
You're fine. I do this all the time. I got T-ballers, I got high schoolers that come in. So all we're going to do is we're going to work our form, tight grip, hold back, tight grip. So now we got muscle here. We're going to be here. All I'm going to ask you to do is on your front foot, I'm going to have you bring it up to a tippy toe, just a little bit. Your heel up. There you go. Now turn your knee inside. There we go.
Hey, I did it.
One more, tight grip. Keep that elbow up in the back. Keep the other one down. Come straight forward. There we go.
Hey,
Ball's going.
man, did you guys see that? Chris, you are a really good coach. I love this. All right, Chris, well, I think this built an appetite. I heard that you guys were also having a restaurant here.
Yes, so part of batting cages, of course, just like you said, when you do a workout, you come in, maybe you just got out of school for a school athlete, you come in, you get some reps in, and then you're hungry. So what we decided to do is add a restaurant to the facilities, and we got a full menu. Everything is great when it comes to hot dogs, hamburgers. Our biggest seller right now are wings.
Wow, Chris, you were not kidding. This is a full spread of food. So talk to us. What do we have here?
My chips and salsa, it is a personal recipe on the salsa. I actually started making it at home about 2 years ago. I started messing with different salsas. I'm a salsa guy. I like chile.
I do too.
I love it. I love when I go to a restaurant and they bring you some great salsa. You end up eating all that chips and salsa before your main course here, and then you're full and you have to take a doggy back home.
So we have that. We have pizza. You cannot go wrong with pizza.
All the pizza's toasted, so they're personal sizes for the kids. We do have it available personal sizes for parties. So instead of parents having to order a whole pizza, that pizza's sitting there and it getting cold, bring it on a request, and then they can take it to go or they can eat it there at the table.
Thank you so much for having us. We are so excited. I think Nigel and I are gonna really dig into all of this.
Well, you've got to end the day with a churro bite.
Dessert. Oh my gosh. Nigel, here, you're gonna have to try it. Ready? Cheers. And by the way, Nigel, our photographer, said it was delicious. So Battle Batting Cages is having its grand opening this Saturday, actually. It's located on the west side, right in that shopping center next to Panda Express. So if you want to take a look at it, it's there. Well, that does it for us here on KTSM Plus, but don't go anywhere. We'll have another half hour of news and weather coming up on KTSM 9 News first of all. Welcome back, everyone, to KTSM 9 News. First at 4, I'm Monica Cortez. We begin with developing news. So the El Paso Police Department's Crimes Against Persons Unit says they're investigating a death in northeast El Paso. According to police, this all happened on Dyer Street near a fast food restaurant. And police say the call came in just before 6 a.m. as a welfare check. No other information has been released, so of course, we'll make sure to keep you updated on air and online as soon as we learn more. And an Albuquerque mother is behind bars this afternoon following the death of her 1-year-old daughter. This is a story we first told you about on KTSM.com. Albuquerque police said it all happened at a home in northwest Albuquerque on Saturday. Vanessa Chavez was arrested on Wednesday for child abuse resulting in death. Police say the girl was born with drugs in her system and had been taken away from her mother's parents shortly after birth, but was returned to her parents' home last month on a trial period. Her 7-year-old son told police that his mom was bad to his sister and slammed her into the wall. Police say the baby had bruises all over her body, including her head and neck. Now, the New Mexico Children, Youth and Families Department did release the following statement that reads in part, quote, "The death of this child is a tragedy of immeasurable proportions. This outcome could not have been predicted by any of the parties involved in this case. CYFD extends its deepest condolences to all those affected by this loss," end quote. Well, we're still following that deadly police confrontation on I-10 overpass that happened last month. And now an autopsy report obtained by KTSM is ruling that man's death as a homicide. We do want to warn you that the video you're about to see could be considered disturbing to some of our viewers. The medical examiner's office is listing the death of Javier Guadalupe Hernandez as asphyxia caused by chest compression after law enforcement subdual and restraint. Now, according to police, the 30-year-old had confronted police on an I-10 overpass, saying he'd attempted to jump over a barrier and onto the freeway. That's when an officer subdued Hernandez. Now, the autopsy revealed that Hernandez also had cocaine in his system. So the big question now is, what happens next? Take a listen.
I want to emphasize that this remains an open and honest investigation. At this time, no findings or determinations have been made regarding potential criminal liability. Three separate investigations are currently underway: a criminal investigation by the El Paso Police Department's Crimes Against Persons Unit, an independent separate investigation by the Texas Rangers, and an administrative investigation by the El Paso Police Department Internal Affairs Division.
It's also worth noting that Hernandez's family did have an attorney, but as of yesterday morning, the attorney tells us that he is no longer on this case and the family has retained other legal counsel. Well, over to another story we've been following very closely on air and online. A Fort Bliss soldier has been arrested for allegedly trying to send sensitive information to Russia. The Department of Justice says 22-year-old Taylor Adam Lee faces charges of attempted transmission of national defense information to a foreign adversary and attempted export of controlled technical data without a license. According to court documents, Lee is an active duty service member at Fort Bliss and holds security clearance for top secret information. Documents say since May, Lee sought to establish his U.S. Army credentials and send technical information to Russia's Ministry of Defense about M1A2 Abrams tanks. Lee was arrested Wednesday morning and made his first initial appearance in federal court that same day. To read more on this and all of today's top stories, just head on over to KTSM.com. Well, from our Austin newsroom, it is day 4 of the Texas Democrats' quorum break, and Democratic lawmakers continue to wait out the special session far away from Texas. But tomorrow, state leaders said they will start taking legal action against absent lawmakers. Dylan McKim shows us what's at stake.
It's the courage to continue that counts. That's what a sticky note outside of Texas House Minority Leader Gene Wu's office reads. He was thrusted into the spotlight after Governor Greg Abbott filed a petition in the Texas Supreme Court to remove him from his position. But if lawmakers are not in this building by Friday, Attorney General Ken Paxton said he vows to start the process of trying to remove other lawmakers. The Texas Supreme Court will decide the fate of Wu's seat, which represents a part of Houston. Wu has until 5 p.m. Friday to file a response to the assertion that he forfeited his office by leaving the state. It's unclear when the Texas Supreme Court will make its decision, but Kim Paxton has made it clear he will pursue judicial remedies against other lawmakers on Friday. But even with that threat, Texas Democrats seem unwavered.
We must march forward.
Mahela Plesa represents Collin County. She's now facing pressure from Republican delegates in Collin County, who signed this letter calling on her to return to work.
My district has asked for me to break quorum. Breaking quorum is a tool in the toolbox that our forefathers that wrote the Texas Constitution gave us.
On top of this, U.S. Senator John Cornyn said the FBI will help Texas in locating lawmakers, but it's unknown if they can arrest anyone to bring them back to Texas.
We don't know. But I anticipate with Donald Trump as our president that they can. And we're all prepared to do that.
The quorum has been established.
Back in Austin, redistricting efforts continued in the Senate. Things became tense when Senator Brian Hughes compared Texas's redistricting efforts to Democratic states like Illinois and Massachusetts.
The results of their nonpartisan process yield hyper-partisan results, much more than Texas has today.
We're Texans. I really don't give a shit what goes on in the other community, the other states. I just care about Texas.
The Senate Redistricting Committee did approve the same congressional map that the House Committee approved last week. It will now go to the Senate floor for a final vote. Reporting here in Austin, I'm Dylan McKim.
All right, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about weather because I feel like that's what everyone is talking about. Clear skies, not a single cloud to be seen. Yikes, I hate those clear sky summer days because you know it's hot. So Robert, can you tell us when we're going to see those clouds, when we're going to see cooler temps?
You know, I saw a few clouds yesterday and I was delighted.
Oh, I did too. They were little and kind
real
of like
tiny,
yes.
real struggling, but they were there. We're going to see not only clouds, but a return of the thunder showers by the end of the weekend.
Okay.
We need that rain.
We do.
It's too hot. Let's take a look at the high temperature so far today. 105 Juarez, 103 El Paso, 101 Las Cruces, and 102 in Alamogordo so far today. Right now at the International Airport, it's 102. We've got winds coming in 10 miles per hour, 2.33, 9% relative humidity. A look at the satellite radar composite. It's the same. We see the clear skies. That's because we have sinking air from this unique bubble of high pressure. But don't worry, it won't last for the rest of summer. It's only going to stick around until Saturday afternoon, and then it begins to break apart. We still have a heat advisory in the orange area along the border that lasts until Sunday evening. And here's a quick look ahead. High temperature tomorrow, 104, lots of sunshine, hot and dry. Partly cloudy with isolated hit or miss storms starting to enter the borderland by Saturday evening, but by Sunday, potentially strong thunder showers. Your detailed forecast coming up in just a bit. Monica.
Robert, thank you so much. Well, from our DC newsroom, there is a major shift coming from the White House. The Trump administration is scrapping dozens of federally funded vaccine projects aimed at combating respiratory viruses. This just as outbreaks are starting to rise nationwide. Rashad Hudson has all those details.
The Trump administration is pulling the plug on future vaccine development.
HHS supports safe, effective vaccines for every American who wants them.
But this week, the Department of Health and Human Services announced it's terminating 22 vaccine research projects worth nearly $500 million, focused on mRNA technology for COVID-19, the flu, and other respiratory viruses.
HHS has determined that mRNA technology poses more risk than benefits for these respiratory viruses.
Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says it's a part of a broader effort to refocus health spending.
Like whole virus vaccines and novel platforms that don't collapse when viruses mutate.
The cuts come as diseases like measles remain a concern, raising questions about the administration's commitment to vaccine safety and development.
The current decisions that the Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services are making are hurting America.
Critics like Dr. Tyler Evans with the Wellness Equality Alliance say the decision puts politics ahead of pandemic preparedness.
Viruses, fungi, they don't know the differences between state lines. They don't know the differences between blue and red.
The decision to scrap these projects mark a major reversal from President Trump's first term when Operation Warp Speed fast-tracked mRNA technology. Reporting in Washington, Rashad Hudson.
coming up, former U.S. Representative Beto O'Rourke is responding to Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton after he announced he will be investigating O'Rourke's political group, Powered by People. We look at the comments you all left us. Thank you so much for tuning in to KTSM 9 News First at 4, putting local first.
Your local weather authority, Robert Bettis, the Borderland's only certified broadcast meteorologist.
All right, Mr. Robert, I love you today because you have such good news.
Well, I love you every day.
Oh, I love you too every day.
Yeah.
But especially
even though sometimes you don't have good news.
True, true.
All right. Well, I know we want to get rid of the heat. We're going to get a little break, and we're going to get our thunder showers back. So hopefully we can keep the Franklins with a little bit of green. Okay?
I hope so.
All right.
Please.
Let's do it. Take a look at the misery meter. Of course, today becomes our 31st day of triple-digit heat. I'm pending the official high temperature to see if we made it into the 105 to 109 degree category. So far, we've had 12 of those hot days. Here are the highs today so far. 105 Juarez, 103 El Paso, 101 Las Cruces, 102 Alamogordo, and 88 for Ruidoso. Want to compare? Another record day for Phoenix, Arizona at 116. 98 Albuquerque, 99 Midland, but 100 up there in Amarillo and Lubbock, 105 Laredo, and 100 Del Rio. Right now in Las Cruces, 99 degrees. We've got winds 7 miles per hour coming in from the south. A lot of sunshine, not a cloud in the sky down here along the border. We remain under that heat advisory right in El Paso County and Hudspeth County all the way through Sunday evening because this bubble of high pressure remains in place through Saturday. Then it breaks down, then the monsoonal moisture comes back, then we get our thunder showers, so the high temperatures can only really climb into the mid to upper 90s for a few days next week. Here comes your exclusive 9-hour forecast for your Friday. And it's Friday. Sunshine, high temperature 104, a heat advisory in effect. Southeast breezes 5 to 15 miles per hour. Allergy forecast 9s across the board for the next 3 days. It's been very stable on the allergy forecast. Tonight for you, Las Cruces, clear skies, 69 degrees. Tomorrow, your high popping up to 101. Sunshine, not a lot of clouds, maybe 1 or 2, nothing major. And then tonight for us, clear and 76 degrees. Tomorrow, high temperature 104. Now, only KTSM gives you 9 full days of weather. On Saturday, I'm upgrading Saturday to isolated hit or miss area thunderstorms. I think we're definitely going to see some lightning at least by Saturday evening. That ridge is still in place, so 103. But when it breaks down, it brings in the moisture and allows the thunder showers to become stronger. We have a couple of little wave disturbances that come through on Sunday, and that could enhance the strength of those storms. So I'll be watching Sunday in particular with a high of 99. After a hot day, you know what those thunder showers can do. Regular daily late day thunder showers on Monday and Tuesday. High temperature 96 on Monday, 97 on Tuesday. And then a ridge of high pressure begins to want to form and flirt with us again. So 99 on Wednesday, partly cloudy skies, 100 on Thursday, mostly sunny, couple of clouds, hot and dry, 99 on Friday, and then coming back down to 98 on Saturday. We'll have at least a slight chance of isolated thunderstorms on Saturday. Monica.
Robert, thank you so much. Well, let's go ahead and take you outside right now, and this is what it looks like. I-10 Yarborough in East El Paso, things are looking quite nicely. Not a lot to slow us down. It's a big 2 thumbs up. All right, well, Beto O'Rourke is responding to Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton after he announced an investigation into the former U.S. congressman. At an event in Oklahoma last night, O'Rourke says he welcomes the investigation, adding that it, quote, proves we're doing the right thing, end quote. And as we told you yesterday, Paxton is investigating whether O'Rourke's political group, Powered by People, is breaking laws by funding Democrats out of state travel, attempting to stop the passage of the new congressional maps, backed by state Republicans. So we shared the story on our social media accounts, and a lot of you guys had lots of thoughts you wanted to share with us. So let's get started. We start with Rosemary Campa Blakely, who writes, he must be looking to run for governor. Haven't heard from him in ages, and now all of a sudden, here he is fighting for the, quote, right thing. Daniel Alba writes, get him, Beto, don't back down. El que nada debe, nada teme. He who hasn't done anything shouldn't fear anything, end quote. And Arlene Contreras wrote, this is starting to look like a circus instead of a government. Stop all the distractions and focus on what you were elected for. Do your job. Thank you guys so much for sending us all those comments. And here at KTSM, of course, we do value your opinion, and we really want to hear from you. Make sure you're following us on all of our social media platforms to keep in touch with us through the comments. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. We still have a lot more to share with you right after this break. All right, welcome back. Okay, so this year's Big Tech's Choice Awards finalists are out, but there's a twist. And there are now 15 finalists after a new category was announced yesterday at Fair Park in Dallas. The celebrity judges will crown champions in Best Sweet, Best Savory, Best Creative, and now Best Taste Sipper. There was a record number of entries before they narrowed it down to 30, and then the final 15, which includes brisket and beer, cheese stuffed pretzels, deep fried deli tacos, Dubai chocolate funnel cake fries, we're going to talk about that right now, and honey jalapeno lemonade in the new drink category.
My.
I know. So, okay, question.
Yeah.
Robert, have you heard of Dubai chocolate?
I have not.
Me
I live here
neither.
in Texas.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what's Dubai chocolate? So apparently it's trending on social media. It's like
Right.
the most delicious chocolate you'll ever try. Even IHOP is now offering like Dubai chocolate pancakes.
But only a Texan will take that delicious chocolate that you
And
just mentioned
fry it.
and deep fry it.
Why do we do this?
If we can catch it, kill it, grow it, import
fry it.
we're going to fry it and we're going to serve it up. I think I gained 2 pounds watching your story.
Oh, I know, me too.
That looks so good.
That looks delicious.
Wow. Big dicks. All right, I know. All right, here comes the forecast. 104, the high temperature for tomorrow. Lots of sunshine. 103 on Saturday. We'll see some lightning creep into the evening, and then here come those thunder showers, quite strong potentially by Sunday evening.
All right. I love it. I can't wait till Sunday. Strong thunder showers.
Yeah, let's get some rain.
Oh, I can't wait. All right. Also, yes, let's do this. So we're going to give you a quick preview of what's coming up, right? So El Paso Electric is taking the request for a new proposed rate hike to state officials. Our Diana Castillo, she's been following the story and she's going to break down those numbers. Also, a clock is ticking on whether Texas House Democrats will return to Austin. What they told our Jesus Baltazar about the remaining items needed to be addressed. We do have a lot more of those stories coming up after the break. That does it for us. I'm Monica Cortez. 9 News Now with Estela Casas and Robert Perez.
Hair and wardrobe provided by
I'm